Who is this?
Welcome, Vikings fans. This is the FullSkol Podcast.
Let's go! Are you kidding me?
As I mentioned earlier, the victory horns, our victory.
I got some drip. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Forgot.
Now we're talking.
There we go.
There you go. Beautiful. I got the Jared Allen on. I've had mucho success with the Jared Allen this season, so it might be the whole season with the Jared Allen.
Maybe that would be the. I figured that would be the number to turn a season around, if you know what I mean. 69, and we celebrate with some Minnesota beer.
What is it? A grain belt?
Grain belt premium.
Of course, nice.
For a premium football team.
For a top-notch football team. For a division-leading football team.
How stupid are we? First of all, welcome to the FullSkol Podcast.
Yes.
Your weekly
welcome.
in-season Vikings football recap. How dumb are we, Jim?
How dumb?
Yeah, how dumb. How we are throwing reckless abandon and past history and heartbreak, caution to the wind, and just Super Bowl, baby.
No, this is different. I told you. Okay,
Is it different? Is it different?
It's a different team.
So you're saying it's a good thing that I put that Hondo down on the Super Bowl preseason?
I think so. It's going to pay for our tickets.
I do have that bet.
It's going to pay for our tickets.
I don't think I'll win enough though. What did we say? What was it like? $4,000 is all I would win on $100? If they win the NFC?
No, I thought it was 8,000.
Maybe. Either way, I think it's going to take more than that to get tickets to the Super Bowl. All right, but let's not talk about that. We got a lot of football.
A lot of football.
But I will say, here's why it might be different. This is not where we thought we would be. Although to be fair, I swear you said we'd be 1-1 by 2 games in.
No, I said I'd be 2-0.
Did you?
Oh.
Are you sure? Yeah. You had us.
Oh,
Niners.
In the preseason or after last year?
Yeah, the preseason.
Preseason, I had us 1-1.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I'm pretty sure I think I had us 1-1 too, because I had us winning. Yeah, I think I had us 1-1.
Yeah,
because I had us winning and losing. So whatever.
I don't remember. Maybe we have to go back and listen to that. I might have been 2-0 and then 2-1 and then 3-1. I think you had us like 2-2. No, you might have had us at 1-3 after 4 weeks, and I was at 2-2.
Maybe,
yes.
Possibly.
Anyway.
Possibly. We ended up the same. I do remember that somehow at 10-7 or whatever it was. Which is
11-6. 11-6, which we
kind
of laughing at, but now it's like
now
perfect season.
I know it's only 2 games, but like that was a big game.
That was huge. That was a huge game.
Yeah. So we'll recap it a little bit, like going into it. Let's just recap the game and then we'll give our color commentary or whatever. But
okay. So just kind of by the numbers, which I happen to have pulled up right here. We can look at all the numbers, I guess. Sam Darnold, 17 of 26 for 268 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. It's 2 weeks in a row now. He has scored 2. He has thrown for 2 touchdowns. So he has I think he has a quarterback rating of like 113 or something like that. Like he's way up there in quarterback ratings. What's funny, because I don't know if you remember the play where Ty Chandler ran around the corner and it looked like he was going to try to throw the ball. Do you remember that one where he was kind of like spinning the ball in his hand and I guess the play was to Nick Muse if he was open. They actually have Ty Chandler down as passing as 0 for 0.
Oh, really?
0 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 all zeros. And I'm like, how can he have 0 for 0?
0.
Yeah, he did that. It wasn't a pass. Anyway, Ty Chandler, 10 carries, 82 yards for an average of 8.2 yards a carry.
He was going off, dude.
Yeah, no, he played really well. Aaron Jones, 9 of 32, 9 carries for 32 yards, an average of 3.6, which is not great. And then Sam Darnold had 5 carries for 32 yards. And we won't talk about Aaron Jones' fumble at the end zone, which cost us a lot of money.
We have. We actually.
we will.
So we had a parlay cooking. Do you remember what the parlay was?
Yes.
All right, go down the list and save the worst for last.
Okay, so the list it wasn't even that.
No, it wasn't outrageous. But
okay, so it was Sam Darnold, 2 touchdown passes.
Got it.
Justin Jefferson, 100 yards and a touchdown.
Check. Almost
in one play. And Aaron Jones scoring an anytime touchdown.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
How
about new at the 2, which would have been a $10 bet for about a 400 piece. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 20.
Of course, it had to be an ex-Packer to do that to us.
Of course it was.
we were literally 1 foot away from $400.
Yes, 1 foot. 1 foot. Well, I think technically he fumbled at the 3, so I guess that might be.
Was it at the 3?
9. That's what they were saying, but I think it was more like the 2. It seemed like me like he was on the goal line. I know they recovered it on the goal line, but I think he actually rolled in, so it was a touchback. No, maybe I don't remember. No, I think they had it at the goal line because they went like 99 and scored.
And I was watching it at the bar at the Vermilion River Tavern, and as we were checking things off, I was, we're jawing with the rest of the crowd and cheering the team on and stuff. So they knew, like, with my parlay, I'm like, all I just need an AJ touchdown age in there. It was like, oh, here it is. Here it goes. He's like, oh, here it goes. You're getting paid. You're paid. No.
The whole bar.
Yeah, the whole bar was like cheering for me. Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, that one stung a little bit, but
that one hurt. But we still get the win. And
we got, and it was a good win because it was it was convincing win. Listen, let's take the parlay aside, he punches that in. This is a blowout.
It's 27-10 at that point. Yeah, 27.
Changes the course of the game. Yeah.
No, that would have been the nail right there. That would have been the it's a runaway kind of thing. So, but it didn't. But the game was in hand. I never once felt.
I never felt nervous at all.
Yeah. Even when they went down to score in the second half or in the second quarter, right before half, they went down to score and they brought let's see, I can look at the like the kind of the play-by-play here. We'll look at the numbers real quick. Justin Jefferson, 4 catches, 133 yards, an average of 33.2, but in one play he had 97. So so that was with the touchdown. Jalen Naylor, who has been, they call him Speedy, so we'll call him Speedy. 3 catches for 54 yards, an average of 18. Now that's money, and that's a touchdown as well. So Aaron Jones, 5 catches for 36, which is really nice, an average of 7.2. That's almost a first down every time he catches the ball. Trent Sherfield Jr., Brandon Powell, Johnny Munt, a couple catches here and there. So right at the half, we scored in the first quarter, 3 points. We took the Will record, had the field goal. Second quarter, Justin Jefferson, 97 yards. We come out of the end zone, and then they marched down the field. And actually, this is where it would have been. So Aaron Jones puts the ball on the ground, and is it the second quarter when he does that? No, it was the fourth quarter. Anyway, so they came down and scored to make it 7-10. And we had with a minute 53 left, we get the ball back, or they scored at minute 53. So we get the ball back with a minute 40 and some change, 39-yard field goal, Will Reichert, money. And we go up, which is huge. We get the ball at the second half. So now we're up 13-7 coming out. We get the ball back. Third quarter, we're the only one that scored. Jalen Naylor, 10-yard pass from Sam Darnold for a touchdown. So we go up 20-7 at that point. And then is when Aaron Jones fumbles in the beginning of the fourth quarter, our first drive, and that would have put us up 27-7. He fumbles, they go 99 yards. They bring it up to 20-14, and then we marched down the field. So they scored at 10-16 in the fourth quarter. We kicked the field goal at 3:30. 7-minute drive. Well, 14 seconds short of a 7-minute drive with some big third downs, with Justin Jefferson out, Jordan Addison still hurt, no TJ Hawkinson. Apparently, was it Muse who broke his hand? He's out on the short-term IR. He fractured his hand on the play in the game. So he's playing with a broken hand. And Sam Darnold just marches down the field. Aaron Jones was out at that time. He had like a hip flex or something like that. So that's where Ty Chandler got a lot of his money right there. But, I mean, huge play, because here we are with 6-point lead in the fourth quarter, and we're thinking, it's the 49ers. Here we go. It's the 49ers. And then 7-minute drive, punch it in. And then, of course, they come down and they get a field goal with 1:12 left. They had to kick the onside kick, which, of course, they didn't get. We take a kneel, victory formation, 23-17. However, a lot of their yards, which is deceiving, because we did go into like the
prevent. Oh, for sure. I was saying, like, I hate this so much.
Yeah. But I
wouldn't say that I was nervous, but there was a time there when they were doing that. I'm like,
yeah,
you could see, like, you're giving them a little glimmer of hope, kind of a thing, and I was just like,
well, but here's the thing. So Brock Purdy threw 36 times, 36, because they were behind the whole game, and we were able to pressure them, all this kind of stuff. So he threw 319 yards. They got the kickoff, in that fourth quarter at the 30, because we always kicked it into the end zone. So they go, whatever they go, 50-some yards. So he gets 50, 55, maybe 60 yards in that last series, because we're giving it to him. We're giving him 15, 20 yards at a time. But we still held him to 3. So when we get into the red zone, the defense then, of course, okay, we're going to give you these yards. We're going to play this prevent. And so I think it's a little bit different than the Denny Green prevent. It was, I think B-Flow is obviously a little bit better of mastermind than that. So I didn't feel that bad about it, because I was watching the game with my youngest, Joel, and he was like, why do they keep letting him go? I'm like, it's okay, because when it gets tight, and sure enough, we get in the red zone, we tighten up, and they kick that 39-yard field goal, so that ball's at like the 22 when we held them, because it's like 17 yards for a field goal. That's when it goes back, 10 yards in the end zone and 7 yards back. So the ball was at the 22 when we stopped them on third down. So we did exactly what we were supposed to do, hold them to 3, and then we end up winning the game. So
you're doing something right when the opposing quarterback goes up to your defensive coordinator and shakes his hand.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, Purdy. They were talking about Purdy went up to B-Flow and was like,
wow,
some crazy looks.
Yeah.
And I've been watching some breakdowns of his defense and like how they look like they're going to be something. And he's like, so this looks like a gap or a 5 or whatever the thing was. He's like, and all of a sudden it hikes and everybody like drops back and they switch around and like, nope, just kidding. That's Tampa 2. And it's like, what? Like how? Like what? And all these weird gap, like they'll start this way and they'll actually like start to go, and then all of a sudden they'll back out and they'll come way around and hit the gap and come in and pressure the quarterback from this side, and then he turns and boom, right into another defender. And
it's very exotic. But if you remember in our first podcast, I talked about that, where they asked B-Flow, how much of your defense were you able to run last year? And he said probably about a third of it, because he didn't have the personnel. He has the personnel. This defense is going to be, and we're starting to get some flowers on the national.
We are like it switched fast, because we were wondering like, well, how is this? How are they going to spin this narrative? And there's a few people sticking to their guns, the Stephen A's of this world, which last week, he's like, that ain't going to happen again. That ain't going to happen with San Francisco and Brock Purdy and the defensive guy. That ain't going to happen again. Oh yeah. It's not, huh? It's not.
Well, I'll give him this. The last thing I saw, I think it was early sometime this week, he talked about it, and that's what they did. They brought up the Vikings, Seahawks, and the Tampa Bay, because they're all, I think we're all 2-0, and they're like, of these undefeated teams, who's the least likely to make the playoffs? And Stephen A was the one to say, I think it's the Vikings, but he was kind of like, I just don't know yet. He said, okay, the Giants, okay, yeah, they're a terrible team. And we said that. However, we did exactly what a good team is supposed to do to a terrible team. We throttled them. And so, okay, yeah, they're a terrible team, but we didn't barely beat them.
And that would have been one thing if we went in there and we, won with a last-minute field goal, or even just won by one touchdown or something like that. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you won, but you barely won that, and it was the Giants. No, we did what any good team should do against the Giants. We handled, man. The game was in control.
Yeah.
And then okay, this week's the real test, and we all said that in our text group, going, okay, let's see what kind of team we really have. And there's a couple of pre-excuses going into it, and they're not with some merit. Short, no McCaffrey, short week for them. So those are legit things. I mean, every team has to face it.
But our 13-4 season of 2022, you play who's across from you. Remember that season when quarterbacks just kept falling and falling and falling? We were playing all these backups, and they're like, oh, yeah, they're barely winning by one score, and they're playing backup quarterbacks. We don't get to decide. The Vikings don't get to say, hey, no, we're going to just wait until CMC's
right.
and play a full.
And I heard one of the guys saying this about KOC, and I have to agree. I wish I could remember it so I give him credit, but he was like, KOC is comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And he brought up last year, he's like, look what he did last year. People getting hurt, JJ going down, and this quarterback and that quarterback, and he doesn't get rattled, and my faith in KOC is just getting stronger and stronger. But honestly, right now, B-Flow is what's shining.
Yes, 100%.
I started watching these videos of people breaking down his plays, and you're just like, and that's what other teams are doing. But even though that it's a possibility, they're the players, and I want to give them credit. They're selling it. When they start, it's not like you're like, oh, they're not. That guy's not actually gonna blitz, or that guy's not actually gonna, whatever. He's not gonna drop back into the middle. This guy's coming for sure. And nope, he drops what And Harrison Smith, the I don't know how old is he now. He's a senior player or whatever, and he's just.
He's in his 30s.
Like he's on a blitz. They snap the ball, and he beelines it straight back and covers the mid zone, and just completely shuts that off.
Yeah.
As Purdy's trying to do all his checkdowns, like, oh, that I thought I had the middle of the field, not anymore.
Yeah,
it's like like that, like.
No, it's insane. Yeah, it's insane. And what about these edge rushers that we got on Van Ginkel come in and Grenard, and Van Ginkel almost had another one. Another same play.
Purdy almost got ganked.
Yeah, he got ganked. I love it. You got ganked, boy.
You got ganked, son. Almost, dude. I was this close. He almost had it.
No, that was.
He's gonna get more. That's gonna happen. He's getting more of those because the way he plays, he really fits into that style. Because he's smart too. The way he's he reads that play.
Yeah, for sure.
He just knows it. And that JJ touchdown. I was watching a video from the crowd, somebody in the fans, and that stadium was so loud. I could have gone to that game, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I would have had to drive all the way down to the city. It would have been a thing, but I got offered a ticket. I haven't been a quick turnaround, of course, in the back of my mind. And you should be thanking me.
Well, you're exactly right.
Last time I went to U.S. Bank, we got embarrassed by Green Bay. So, if I'd have gone all the way down there to see us get throttled by the Niners, it'd have been my fault.
You're exactly right.
I didn't want to wear all that. I didn't want to carry that weight on my shoulders.
On the broadcast that I saw, there was a ton of red.
There was a bunch of red. They were saying that before the game even started on K-Fan. They were talking about that.
I'm like, why is there so many Niners fans? And KFC and some of the other players were saying that the crowd was just amazing. And I'm like, it didn't come across on TV. It did not come across on TV as loud as it's been in the past. But
the Niners travel well because they've been a winning team. So it's not just people from California, but there are some transplants from California that live here. But they're a popular team to follow because they've had a lot of success. So there's a lot of bandwagon, fans and stuff like that. Just like there's Chiefs fans everywhere you go now. It's just it's just how it was like it was the Patriots 10 years ago. It's just like there's any state, just like
whoever's winning exactly.
So they do travel really well. But we have to point out, which everybody, the announcer said it a zillion times, but the Niners haven't won in any Minnesota
Yes.
building since 1992. Now they don't
Yes.
play every year, but it still goes like
Yeah.
it's
I
it's
think
worth
I
saying.
think they're 0-9. No, wait. 0-11, maybe. Is it
Yeah.
11
We
or 9?
weren't supposed to beat them
It's
last year.
somewhere around 10. I know it's somewhere around 10. It's right at double digits. It's either 9 or 11 or something like that they've lost to us at home. Now, of course, they beat us soundly in the playoffs 2 years ago, I guess.
Yeah,
it was.
right.
I mean, just like beat the drums off us, but
Yeah.
the brakes off us, whatever. But anyway, so we throttle the Giants like we're supposed to. And now, okay, here's a real test. This defense is going to be a top 5 defense, and there's no doubt. We lead the league in sacks right now with 11 through 2 games. 11 sacks through 2 games. We have 4 turnovers we have 4 interceptions in 2 games. We had 2 interceptions per game. So we're winning the turnover battle, which we lost last year. So I mean, like this defense.
Yeah, if you look at the beginning of last year,
legit.
Freak turnovers that we had. Now we're getting them, and we're not giving them. Well, we had some interceptions, and that one was pretty stupid. I gotta say that. I was like, that was a really dumb decision.
But Fred Warner made an amazing play. Now the announcers did say even if he doesn't make that play, the cornerback probably makes that same play a lot easier. Yeah. But I mean, he was like Superman laid out to make that play.
That was a great.
I'll give him credit, and he's an amazing linebacker. I mean, like he's an amazing player. So, but that defense is legit. That front four and I mean, like he was clean. Sam Darnold was clean. And you talk about the balls on KOC. He's throwing from his end zone. It's 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8. And you know what? Of course, they're like, they're going to hand the ball off. Play action from their own end zone. And then he throws that ball, 60 yards?
Bomb, dude.
I think he caught it on like the 45 of the other side, maybe the 40 of the opposite side of the field. He throws that from the end zone. He threw that 55, 60. I mean, on the money, dude.
Dropped it
into a bucket. Like, what a dime. And then I don't know if you saw JJ's press conference or his after at the locker room or something like that. He was like, he knew how long his longest was. And he's like, I've had so many big catches where they catch me at the 5 or the 2. He's like, nope, I was getting in. And they said, how about Speedy coming down there and helping you? And he's like, yeah, I think I might have got him by myself, but that's okay. I was glad to get the help, whatever. He's
and I watched that play a couple times from a couple different angles, and I think he would have gotten in, but
it'd have been close.
The wheels on Naylor. Oh my God.
Speedy is definitely I'd like to see what his speed is based on Tyreek Hill and
JJ's not slow, right? And so he's running. Of course, he's already halfway down the field and probably a little tired. Well, Naylor had to run the exact same distance, and he just was like, I mean, he had the jets on, dude. And I was like, oh my God, look how fast he is.
He was gaining on him big
to catch up to get that block.
At the 3, I'm like, he ran.
How about the decision making of JJ too to just hit the brakes and then go to the corner? He's like, all he saw was green to his right. He's like, oh, I'll just go this way.
Yeah, put my foot in the ground.
Gone.
Yeah, no, that was ridiculous, dude. I mean, but KOC to make that call, I think, I sound like a broken record, but I really truly believe that KOC is now we're seeing the genius of KOC because he's able to call the game that he wants to and not. Does Kirk make that play? No way. He takes one progression, boom, he checks. Let me get this out of my hands as fast as I can because I don't want to take a safety and I'm too afraid, And what did he hold that ball? 3-4 seconds? He held that ball in the end zone to let that play materialize. I mean, how long does it take for JJ to run 50 yards? 60
and he
yards.
didn't have happy feet, which is one of the knocks that people said about him. That he gets nervous in the pocket and blah, blah. He's been pretty patient, pretty accurate. And I've also said this, and we saw it against that game too. He's not a running quarterback, but he's a quarterback that can run.
Yes.
He
had 30 some yards rushing.
Yeah.
And that one play, that one first down, but there was no time left. I remember seeing the replay and I was talking to Jeremiah about it and he was like, yeah, but he had no time left. Where he's taking off running and he had an open lane to the end zone. He probably could have made it in, but he's looking up at the clock. Timeout, boom, field goal. That was at the half. That's right, because they were playing back and they had no spy on him. So, no, but he, so far, now, of course, there's always been that knocks, but like you and I both said, now he's in the best system. He's in the best situation of his life. He was the number 3 overall pick I mean, there's a reason why he came out as a redshirt sophomore. He came out early. He was thrown to the Wolves here, there, Carolina, the Jets. He came to the Jets. He was supposed to be the savior of the Jets. Bad team. He goes to Carolina. Carolina's a trash team. I mean, so like here he finally gets his opportunity. He goes to the 49ers last year and sees what a real team, what a real system is. And I mean, I wonder how much, I'd love to know how much that played into it. I didn't see anything after the game. I know they asked him before, how much of your knowledge of being there last year will help you in this? I'd like to know now, after the fact, hey, did you see some things where you were like, oh, yeah, I know exactly what they're doing here, and I can do this, X, Y, or Z because I've seen this running the scout team or whatever, against that defense. But regardless,
I mean, there might have been some of that, but I think even with if we had, a quarterback that's as good as Darnold from a different team, I think just with KOC and B-Flow,
yeah,
we'd have been fine. I don't think we needed the inside info. If there
you're
wasn't.
right. You're right. I agree. But I mean, every little bit's going to help. But I just think that Sam Darnold is just like, I like I said before, I think that he's finally realizes, hey, this is my opportunity. I've been looked over. People call me trash, blah, blah, blah. I think he carries a little chip on his shoulder. Like he's all business.
Well,
like he doesn't get too high.
Last week I talked about that. Like his body language is kind of standoffish. Like this week, he was happy as shit to beat his old team. Like his body language was totally different.
Yeah.
He was celebrating with the rest of the guys. He was, he was accepting his flowers. He wasn't like, I told you, like, I feel like last week the first week he was kind of like, I told you I could do it. Kind of like had some doubters maybe even in the building. And, he had a little bit like, doubt me again, motherfucker, but this week he was just, celebrating with everybody else. So that was awesome. So moving on to this week, got another tough game against Houston.
Yeah, for sure.
That's going to be tough at home though, so that's good. I don't know what to. I don't know. I don't know. I know I picked a loss at the beginning of the season. But I don't know what to say anymore. Now I will say there's some weird stat with Houston. Oh, we're undefeated against Houston. They have never beaten us. They have never beaten us.
How many times have we played? I wonder.
Like 9.
Really?
Like 9 times, I think, or 7 maybe. 7.
Well, I guess they were the Oilers. Yeah. I guess I think Houston Texans, but that's the original Oilers. So
right.
Played them.
The Texans have never beat us.
Yeah. Well, the good. Yeah. So here's the thing with Houston, and I'm going to save to the end of the podcast to give my prediction, but so the Houston, they're coming in 2-0. Of course, Stephon Diggs, Daniil Hunter is there. Of course, they have that other wide receiver too. That's really, really good. I forget his name now. Of course, CJ Stroud, rookie of the year last year, all that kind of good stuff. But week 1, they played the Rams at home, and they won 17-15. So very close game. Week 2, they played the Colts, who are not a good team, and they won by 2 as well on the road.
I exaggerated.
29-27.
We're 5-0. 5-0 against the Texans.
5-0 against Texans. Okay. But still undefeated. So they've won 2 close games. So remember the narrative on us when we were winning these close games, like, is it sustainable? Blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. So, and then they beat the Bears. Then they beat the Bears, who the Bears are terrible last week. Oh, wait.
When did the Niners get their first touchdown? What quarter?
The second
quarter. So the Vikings have gone
midway.
They went 6 quarters before they gave up 1 touchdown. Because we didn't give up a touchdown in the first game.
Yes, you're right. Yep. And it was midway through actually, it was late in the second quarter because remember they scored with a minute. They scored in less than 2 minutes left in the second quarter. So almost a full game and a half before we gave up our first touchdown. No, I take that back. That wasn't the Rams. That was their last preseason game. They played the Colts week 1. And I remember that game. The Colts were beating them, I think, at one point. They barely won 29-27. And then they beat the terrible Bears 19-16 or 19-13 at home. And the Bears are just trash. So I got to go with a win again. But so I don't know that Houston has that much. They don't have a lot of momentum. Hopefully I'm not hearing what the national media is talking about against them. being
most
favored is
people will
never
see it,
usually
right?
good for us.
We'll have to see, because people don't really start giving their predictions until closer to game day. But
Yeah.
Some of the talk I'm hearing is people are kind of picking Houston already, or probably will pick Houston. But I think you're going to see more of a 50-50 with the media come Sunday, whereas last week it was like unanimous. Everybody was picking the Niners. I think there might have been one person somewhere out there that picked the Vikings.
Didn't you post that on Facebook? All
Yeah.
of the the TV idiots that all have the
Yep.
Niners. Let's see what the line is right now.
They're favored, I'm pretty sure.
The money line, is that the money line? Yeah.
And I feel it's going to come down to the defense too. I feel like
this
might be one of those games where we can
Houston's
win
favored by 2, so it's really a toss-up because they're on the road, and 3 points is usually So, yeah.
Well, they give us 3 for home team, and they're giving them 2, so that's a 5-point swing.
Yeah, maybe. It is plus money. Straight money line is Vikings plus 114, over and under 46 points total, but the spread is Vikings with 2, and Houston minus 2. So, so we're underdogs at home.
I mean,
which is nice. I like that though.
We had fun. I do, because this team plays best with a chip on its shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, when they have something to prove.
And I really think that KOC is really feeding into that. Like we talked about in week 1, in episode 1, where we heard that in wide receiver, where he got in their ass about the turnovers last season and stuff like that. The KOC that we see publicly is definitely not the KOC that's behind closed doors.
Right.
So I think that he's back there, saying, hey, none of these MFers are giving us any kind of love. Hey, let's go out there and shut their pie holes. Like, he's a dog, I think, behind closed doors. He's like, let's go.
I think he knows when. I think he knows when to bark and when not to bark.
Yes, I agree. There's some good news coming up. Jordan Addison is like day to day. I think he was. I don't know if he was limited today. I guess I should have looked that up. I don't know what his availability was this week. I don't know that he's available. TJ at the earliest will be back October the 6th, which is the game against the Jets in London. So mine and Jeremiah, we were talking about this earlier this evening. We feel like he's going to sit that one out with a bye week after the Jets. So this week we have Houston. Next week we have the Packers, and then we have the Jets week 5. We got a bye week 6, and then we have Detroit and TJ. That'll be 8 weeks. 6 weeks is the Jets. He could technically be back for that game in Jets in London.
That's a grind. I mean, think how we have a bye in there, because those are all tough games.
Yeah.
I mean,
no doubt. The Jets are winning 7-0 right now against New England. Aaron Rodgers still looks like Aaron Rodgers at putts. But unfortunately, now it's going to be a game, and it's in London. So, we all have to travel. And there's always different philosophies. Do you go way early and you get acclimated, or do you show up late? I think the last time we went overseas, did we go overseas last year? I think we did, or was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
No, I think it was last year, because I think KOC has gone both of his years. I think we've gone overseas, because I remember the first year they went way early, and then, or maybe they waited till the last minute, and then the next time they went, they did the opposite. And I think that's the one that they want to go with more. That it seemed like it worked.
Well, it
better.
makes sense. You get some rest. I feel like would be better than just showing up and playing tired, jet lagged, and everything else.
The other person that's missing is Dalton Reisner, and he will be back probably around the Detroit game as well. So a couple more things there. JJ is definitely, well, according to JJ, he's in. I saw a press conference with him today. He just got a bruise in his quad with massage therapy. That's going to be fine. And I think he might have been limited today. They did some walkthroughs and stuff like that. But I mean, he's a veteran. He doesn't need a lot.
Massage therapy, some CBD oil, some some CBD. Aromatherapy.
Yeah. So
he'll
be fine. So more than likely he's in. Addison probably still not, but I mean, look at what we did without him on that big drive, fourth quarter, 7-minute drive. speedy Jalen Naylor. You got Brendan Powell. You got that Sheffield Jr. You even got my boy Tristan Jackson, which I'm just I can't wait for him to just have a day and just show up and be part of that rotation. Myles Gaskin's coming in now with Nick Muse out with the broken hand. He's going to come in and be kind of like a tight end. I don't know what they're going to actually do for tight end, if they're going to line up a CJ Ham kind of thing. Aaron Jones might stick out because he's a good pass catcher. He might line up on the edge. He's a good blocker too. I think it was Aaron Jones that was in for the bomb to JJ, and he helped chip Nick Bosa, of course, perennial all-pro, rusher, and he helped block him up, and to give Darnold that extra time to make that play. So a lot of things happening, but momentum is definitely on our side. 1 o'clock game against Houston.
We have some we have some converts already in the media, and it switched pretty fast.
Yeah.
So that was kind of going into it. We're like, okay, how are they going to spin this? They're not going to give us credit. And much to my surprise, there was a lot of credit.
They did. Yeah, they really
There was
did.
a lot of people saying, I may have misjudged this Vikings team too early.
I mean, what kind of idiot do you have to be to not? I mean, like, what more of a convincing win do you want?
Egos get in the way, and some people just dig their heels in. This is they're a paper tiger. They're not really real. And it's like, but that's, like we said at the beginning, we're like, based on what? Like, when I look at our roster, I'm like, damn, this is a good team.
Yeah.
And the only X factor, the only question mark was Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Before
and the defense, and see.
I didn't know. I mean, I was pretty confident in our defense because I was confident in B-Flow. Yeah, we did good last year. We should have been. Now he's got.
I don't know that I expected top 5, which I firmly believe that we're going to be, and we're going to stay there.
Well, we're at. I think I saw us on overall power rankings as high as 7 on somebody's list.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was a huge jump because I think after week 1, we were middle of the road, somewhere mid-pack, 15 or somewhere in there, power rankings. And now we shot up to top 10.
Yeah. Yeah. No, most definitely. Well, I mean, we rightly so. I think we're one of 8 undefeated teams or something like that. No. Maybe
there's an undefeated team, I think, in every single division right now.
And there's 4, so that's 8. There's 4.
Nope, that's a lie, except for the NFC South.
Dallas,
they're tied.
But is there more than one in some divisions, I wonder?
I don't think so. I don't believe so. So that would make it, 17? If that's the case, then it's 7 teams then that are 7-0. Or 7-0. They're 2-0.
See, Bills are 2-0, Chargers are 2-0, and the Chiefs are 2-0. So
that's 3 in that one division.
Yep. Steelers, AFC
then.
North. Steelers are 2-0. AFC South, Texans are 2-0. Let's see, NFC. That NFC East is bad. Seahawks are 2-0. The Vikings are 2-0, and the Saints and the Buccaneers are 2-0. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 9, right?
Is that 9?
4 in the NFC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the AFC. So 9 teams are 2-0. And we were like 6 or 7. So they have us at least above some of the other 2-0 teams.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that we're. I
think it's legit if you look at just based on what it's only 2 weeks, sure, but based on what this team has done already, we soundly handled the team we should have beaten, and we did. Yep. And then we went in and we kind of soundly beat a team that
we really did.
People said we should have lost. We
really did. I mean, the defense holding them to 0 points in the first quarter, and only giving up 7.5. And it was at the very end. So for a quarter and
3 quarters,
whatever you want to say, 4/5. I mean, the defense held the mighty powerful NFC North or NFC champions, Super Bowl bound 49ers. Okay, no CMC, but what did they do in week 1? That backup went crazy. He ran for like 150 or 170 some yards and 2 touchdowns, I think. They played amazing. So the 49ers run scheme reminds me of the Broncos in the 90s with like Terrell Davis, and they had that other guy that was right before him too. And they just had great running backs, but it was all scheme, I think, because they just kept plugging them in and they just kept having these big games because of the run blocking and everything else. So I think the 49ers are kind of like that as well. I mean, CMC is a special player, but the backups are having big games as well. And the defense held them. I mean, like not even 3 points in damn near a full half of football against the vaulted, nobody gives us a chance 49ers. Like
Right.
that's stout, dude. That right there shows. And then the other thing that really shows me the heart of this team is the fact that, okay, so we're up 10-0. They come down, they score with less than 2 minutes left in the half, 10-7. We're getting the ball at halftime. Just kind of run this minute and a half out, whatever. No. We march down the field and we get in field goal range and we punch in the 3 points with no time left at the clock. And that's, I mean, what is KOC? The first two, or the first however many minutes, and the middle however many minutes, and the end however many minutes. I think it says like 8 or 6 or something like that. And so how you finish that half and how you come out in the second half, I mean, that's big. And the fact that Sam Darnold was able, and that they got their points. Now they did have to move the ball off of a Sam Darnold interception. He threw that interception in the red zone, so they had to go 70 or 80 yards to score that touchdown. But the Sam Darnold that I've heard of, like, oh, now what do we do? The Kirk Cousins gritting the teeth and his lip all pierced. He would have never been able to come back after that interception and played loose enough just to get in position. You know what I'm saying? Not to just keep beating on Kirk Cousins. That's the last time I'm going to mention him this season, because I'm just done with it. Because Sam Darnold is just showing us that he's just that much better. Like, he's playing free, whatever it was, the knock on him before, like you said, his feet and all that kind of stuff. That's not the quarterback that I know.
If we're handing out flowers, I feel like we got to hand some to Kwesi, because he had a great offseason. And we mentioned it a little bit already, where he was able to admit that he was trying to push something that didn't work. And so he said, all right, well, let's go a different direction. Mm-hmm. And he made some baller moves. Yeah. And it's paying off. And, that was one of my gripes, or one of my concerns last year. Everybody's like, we got to get rid of Cousins. I'm like, who's better? Who's out there? Who's out there available? Yeah. Apparently Sam Darnold's out there available. Yeah, apparently. Exactly. And he hasn't cost us a grip.
No. When you're 10,
only have him on a 1-year contract.
10, yeah, $10 million, I think.
So it'll probably be a little more expensive if we go deep into the playoffs with him. Yeah. And I gotta say, a lot of football left, so I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, getting over my skis, as they say. But we got JJ McCarthy, who I think is going to be good someday. And if Darnold is as good as he appears to be in this system and can win here, because if we go deep in the playoffs, I think he starts again next year.
Yeah. How do you not come back? Yeah.
And then you get one of these Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady kind of scenarios, where now you've got this super talented quarterback studying behind a good quarterback.
RG3
and whatever happens, whether it's just time to let him loose or he gets hurt, boom, you step in and you don't skip a beat, and he could be as good, if not better.
Yeah.
And just comes in, and now you've got a winning franchise for a decade, like these other teams have had.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely,
it could happen. Like, there's a lot of blind hope here, but it's like I don't think you need to look that hard. It'd be like, this is a legit possibility. I mean, many a slip twixt a cup and a lip. I mean, an injury here, an injury there. Who knows? Who knows what happens? But it's there. The possibility is there. It's a viable future timeline.
Yeah, no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. But definitely Kwesi this offseason. I agree. I mean, like some of his free agent signings, Van Ginkel, Gennard.
I think we need to start. There needs to be
Gilmore.
Maybe I need to go to a couple games, get a big sign. I think there's a new chant. Anytime Ginkel gets a sack or a pick, We need all of US Bank just go, you got
Yeah, absolutely, dude. We have to start
you
that stuff off.
imagine?
Could you imagine, dude?
That would
Yeah,
be the announcers like, what are they
absolutely.
saying?
Yeah,
You
you
got
got
game.
it for sure, bro.
T-shirts on the whole
Dude,
deal.
that would be so awesome, dude. We got to get that to somebody. PA, we got to get that to somebody, bro. Let that
Stickers.
be made. No, yeah, for sure, dude.
The whole works. We gotta get it going. Maybe I just need to get some stickers made up, some T-shirts.
Yeah,
So
some T-shirts for sure.
We'll have to get a FullSkol shop going.
Yeah,
People
yeah, absolutely.
some of
Go
this
down
stuff.
there and just pedal them on the streets, dude. Like, who wouldn't buy that? Could you imagine? You go down there with 100 T-shirts, dude. You'd sell them out so fast. You got geek, dude. Big purple with big yellow letters, and yellow with big purple letters.
Get one of them like cartoonized piece of of his face or whatever on there with his big long flowing Viking like locks.
Have Aaron do all the graphics and stuff, dude.
We need to get Gink to put on some of that like Floki eye makeup.
Yeah.
He's got the hair
with the flowing hair and stuff.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Heck yeah. Dude, it's fun. It's surprisingly fun to be a Vikings fan.
Right? Exactly, dude. Like, I mean,
I know we're gonna face a at some point in time, but
well, I mean, that's why I'm kind of torn with this game, because I'm like, I feel like we could definitely beat them, but I'm like, I have no doubt we're gonna beat the Packers. I mean, even if Jordan Love comes back, which is crazy. Apparently, he's questionable for this week. He's not 100%, and so we're going to beat the Packers at home. We're just a better team than they are. We go to, I mean, the Jets. Okay, yeah, the Jets are playing good. It's Aaron Rodgers, all that kind of stuff. But
how bad does Aaron Jones want a Lambeau leap after a rushing touchdown?
Dude, can you imagine? He's going to go for 202 touchdowns, bro. I'm putting huge money on Aaron Jones.
If KOC doesn't,
I'm going to have a straight up
get him one touchdown at Lambeau.
Same game parlay, all Aaron Jones. 50 receiving yards, 150 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, dude, it's going to be all Aaron Jones for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Well, we'll save that for next week. But
all
right, let's wrap this up. Give our predictions.
I gotta go win. I gotta go win again. I gotta keep riding the train. I just at home, the defense just be and really, it's like you said, it's more about the defense for me. The fact that we can rattle them, what we did to Brock Purdy, like we're gonna do the same thing to CJ Stroud as a young quarterback. Yeah, they have some weapons, and I think Daniil's gonna have a big game. You know, he's gonna get some pressure, obviously, and stuff like that. So we'll see how Sam does, but the weapons are just too much. Our offense is just too good, but the defense is going to be the difference maker. And I think the defense really wants to step up and show, again, they got that chip on their shoulder. Like, okay, we're underdogs at home. Let's go out there. Let's shut them up. Let's really get the media talking. Let's do this. And yeah, I'm going to win. I'm going
to go. I don't want to say lost, but my brain's like go with lost. But now I think about it, I can see us winning with a very un-Vikings like last minute field goal. So
but that's not un-Vikings like anymore.
I'm gonna say because this kicker is good. I'm gonna say Vikings win 20-17.
20-17. Okay, I'm gonna say we haven't been doing points, have we? Vikings win 24-13.
24-13. All right.
24-13.
Throttling.
They get one touchdown. They get one touchdown, 2 field goals.
All right.
One touchdown, 2 field goals. That defense. The defense is so good. They just don't. They have no idea what's coming up. They have no idea.
We win this game, and you're really going to see the narrative flip.
Yeah,
for
sure. For sure.
We win this game, and the rest of the NFC North is scared, including Detroit.
We win this game, and I guarantee you, like I look at it right now, when you place a bet like for the Super Bowl to win, to Vikings to win the Super Bowl, they offer you buyouts as the odds get less.
Oh, really?
Closer. Oh yeah. So,
so I could cash out early.
Yes. Yeah, it's plus 8,000. So it's 8,100. So right now they're offering you $90 on your $100 bet.
I lose $10. That's stupid.
Yeah. So we win this game. I guarantee you probably double your money because they win the Super Bowl. It's 8,100.
Yeah.
So if we go, let's say at the end of the season, 13-4. Let's just throw that number because we did that 2 years ago. 13-4. The payout's probably going to be a couple grand. They'll offer because they have a legitimate chance to win the Super Bowl, and you can cash out whenever you want to. So,
I'm riding that thing to the bitter end, son.
I don't know, dude. I guess we'll have to have that conversation when we get there because I
can't because if we're that close to going to the Super Bowl, this is the first time I have ever bet money pre-season on them going.
Yeah.
Like, and the reason I did, and honestly, I'm probably going to put a Hondo every year till the day I die at this point because I feel like I'm going to get my money back at some point.
Yeah, at some point.
Because
the odds are going to go down and down. But the odds are going to go down.
As long as I die of old age, they are going to get one before I die.
The odds are going to go down and down though.
That's true. So when it finally hits, it might be, we might be the favorites or something like that.
You might win $1,500 or something. Yeah.
Right.
But anyway,
still worth it. Worth it. Yeah, but $1,500. That's 15 years of $100 bets.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're gonna get your money back for sure. Yeah.
So if we don't win one in 15 years,
we'll win one before 15 years.
Then I get, then I'm at worst I'm breaking even.
Okay, so just let that sink in. All of my Viking fans. The Vikings are going to win a Super Bowl in our lifetime. It is going to happen. Generations of people have came and died as Viking fans and never saw it. We are going to see it.
How do we get Peyton Manning come here and bless the field or lift the curse or whatever he did?
Yeah, we're the winningest team without a Super Bowl. It just
it's ridiculous.
Has to have a quarterback. We have a quarterback now. Whether it be Sam Darnold, which I don't know, the jury's still out. In my book, a little bit too. I'm not ready to be like, Darnold Warriors or whatever. Cousins Crusaders. We got what is it? Darnold. I don't want to say defenders, but is that or Sam's what?
Snipers? I don't know.
Snipers, stormtroopers.
Sam.
Whatever.
Sam fans.
Yeah, but I don't but what I'm seeing in two games, he's great. I mean, like he's playing great. I don't Hall of Famer, no, he's not showing me that kind of stuff, but he's doing the job. I mean, he's playing lights out right now. So, but just the idea that it's going to happen.
I gotta put that bug in my insider's ear.
Yes,
at the organization.
Yes,
get that up on like the jumbotron.
Yeah. Well, and you have the perfect because you have a cheerleader.
Yes.
They can start the cheers. They can make the signs. They can make the signs and start the you got ginked with the pom poms and the leg kicks and everything else. Pamela, are you listening?
Casey McNally.
Yeah, talk to your daughter.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Exciting times, my friend. I'm very excited for the 1:00 game, and good to be a Vikings fan right now.
Yes, it is. Hopefully.
On a side note, I wanted to throw out there that the Dallas Cowboys got humiliated.
Yeah.
By the Saints, and whose defense is that? Mike Zimmer. I love it, especially, I feel no remorse because of what he
zero remorse.
That Star Tribune thing.
Dude.
Yeah, exactly, dude. For sure.
You know what? So you hold a grudge. So do I, you dick.
Yeah, the fact that they got embarrassed, dude. 44 points by the Saints. Dude,
I wish we played Dallas this year.
Just retire,
dude. Dallas this year.
Just go away, man. Just go sit at the ranch and be ugly old men. Just be bitter by yourself somewhere else.
For real. But fine. I mean, eat that humble pie, son.
That was awesome.
You can get fat eating it. But yeah, it's going to be great. All right. That's it. Everybody tune in next week for some more FullSkol.
See you, bye.